everyone. We have presentations coming up in just a few weeks, and I want to give you some tips on how you can have a very professional looking video and meet all the requirements for the assignments coming up. You can use Zoom to record your video, and you can use the settings within it to have a nice, clean background. So, some digital backgrounds really help things look more polished and professional, including a basic blur effect, and it'll give you that nice, clean look without a lot of work. You really need to use a plain, solid colored wall and have no distracting items behind you to really make this work. So think about personal photos, anything you wouldn't want to see in an office setting, cluttered bookcases, piles of clothing. Probably you could move these things aside and then have a blur filter or virtual background where the camera isn't trying to adjust and understand what's going on behind you. If you have a tight space or shared space, maybe you have a dorm room, you're trying to work at a kitchen table or in a living room, it's okay to think about a corner of the room that just works for the video. That way you don't have to spend a lot of time shuffling around things. You should also think about lighting. So you could use a ring light if you use that for social media videos, or you could just put a basic lamp in front of you. That way that helps with the shadows and brightens up your whole picture. What I would love to think about for these upcoming presentations is the filters in Zoom. So if you go to settings and you go to background filters, you can select a virtual background. You want to think about something that's professional and maybe an office or a custom design, but again, just it has to be something that would be acceptable in a professional setting when you're talking about business. Now, when you're using your camera, I would say the built-in camera will work just fine. We can use that and the built-in microphone. You really, once you've taken care of your space and thought about the things that are in the background, you can also think about the sounds that are in your background. The sound of a microwave going off or a dishwasher running is probably going to come through in your recording. So you're going to want to think about things like that and plan time ahead to do this presentation without too many distractions. With your space, again, cover the background visually, the background for audio, and then think about where you put the camera. I would say make sure your camera is at eye level, and that gives you enough room above and below, so framing yourself really nicely within the video. And you can also engage with your audience a little bit more. So you could talk with your hands, and as you're tapping through slides, you can still, get a little bit more animated when you're talking about your points. Remember to speak clearly and look at the camera as much as you can. You know your points. You've worked on this through the whole course, so it shouldn't be a surprise as you're presenting the content for your viewers or for yourself. You don't have to have everything memorized. You could even read key stats off the slides, but I would say as much as you can, summarize and look at the camera. When you're ready, go ahead and do a test recording. You can use the built-in settings from Zoom we talked about with the virtual filters, see how everything looks, and then once you're feeling confident with your background and the Zoom virtual background settings, you can go ahead and record. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I know you've got this.